You got too many cooks living in the kitchen. You don't know what you've been missing.
Welcome to At the Kitchen Table with Soraida and friends. Today we have the wonderful Tim Davis and the super one-of-a-kind TJ Sullivan.
There we go.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. You must have donated more than I did, maybe, TJ. I don't know.
Was there a donation?
Or there's about to be. Okay.
I believe he's a sponsor now. We'll work on that later.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to start out with saying thank you for being here. Thank you for being community-minded leaders. And you get things done.
Yes.
And I love that.
There we go.
It's true. I mean, nothing past 5 p.m., right? You don't want to
No.
get too crazy.
Yeah.
So let's start with tell anyone watching or listening, Tim, something about you.
Man.
What do you do?
Yeah.
Who are you?
I'm a small business owner, ministry-minded guy. It's kind of those two things that drive my life, I think. And I currently run and founded Valor Mentoring, which is a nonprofit mentoring organization for youth. We're up to 300 volunteers, 32 employees. We're about to have our third facility open this fall. So
Where's that?
yeah, that'll be right across the street from McKay High School. Yeah.
Much needed.
Yeah. 68% of all crime in Salem and Keizer happens within 3 miles of McKay High School. So,
But it's not because of McKay High School. It's just there's just a lot of knuckleheads around that area.
Yes. Yeah.
Good disclaimer. I like it.
Yeah.
TJ.
Yeah.
How many
It's
kids have you helped or been through your
man.
program?
I'm probably not that guy, but we double in size every year. Last year we did 70,000 hours of mentoring. So yeah,
Amazing.
we did 20,000 the year before that. So
Thank you for that.
yeah, of course.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, TJ, who are you? Or it just depends on the day. I mean,
Yeah, it really just depends on the day. Today I am a total yard sale. I'm TJ Sullivan. I am a husband and a father, and been operational in this community since 1973. So seen a lot of changes, been a part of a lot of the changes, been on city council for 8 years, and continue to be involved in various ways to try and make magic happen.
Yeah.
and that you do. I think I want to start out talking about the relationship with Salem Keizer and how there is so many community members that, we live in Keizer, but we deal with Salem on the daily. So
Sure.
we are kind of cousins.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Family.
Yeah.
I know that Keizer Rotary, are you going to be the incoming president?
I am the incoming. I'm not going to be the.
You
I am the
are.
incoming
Yes.
president. Yeah,
Yes.
one bullet away.
One bullet. So incoming
good.
president. So you live in Salem. You live in
I
Salem.
live in Salem my whole life, but Keizer has always had. My wife and I, when we first got married, we lived in Keizer, and Keizer mirrors who I am. Let's not take ourselves too seriously, and if something's got to get done, let's not complicate it. Let's just get together and volunteer and get it done.
Wow. That's a
And
great experience.
sometimes with Salem, it's no, we got to form a committee and we've got to study it. And did you do the white paper on this yet? We can't.
I don't even know what white paper is. So.
Is there an analysis?
We can't dig a hole until somebody has studied it. And Keizer is just let's just dig the friggin' hole. And,
Or dig the hole and ask for forgiveness later.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry that happened.
Yeah.
So the other day, and there was an article, this will come out in a few weeks. So Salem Main Street Association. I loved that. I know that you are the chair, right?
Yes.
Or president, one of them. And that you had all the local business owners together talking about the safety of downtown. Can you tell the listeners or anyone that's watching how you came up with that? And is that your part of let's do this mentality?
Well, I guess. It's more Derek Gilbert's idea to get everybody together. And really it was born out of, two dumb guys talking. And I'm we keep playing the telephone game in downtown. And so, it's hey, parking meters are going in. I heard the first hour is free. It's not. And, and so it's by the time it gets back to the people who started talking about parking meters, it's well, I heard it's going to be free if you drive a hybrid. And, so then everybody's well, I'm drive a Ford. They took me on the side of the table.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you're fine.
Okay.
I drive a Ford truck. they're going to charge me double is what I heard. And, you know, it's like, well, that's not true. So it's like, well, what about if we got everybody into the room? Because clearly, you know, there's a perception that downtown Salem is not safe. And we're working really hard to change that perception. I'm downtown all the time. You know, I've never been accosted, but since I've had a stroke, one thing I've noticed, because I walk with a limp and I'm clearly, people who are homeless, they think I'm one of them. They think they're like, brother, like, how did you get money to pay for stuff? And
so welcoming.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And, but you know, we just wanted to get together in a room and let's just talk about what's going on in downtown. And there is a miserable human being who brought a complaint against the city council for how they handled the firing of a city manager, who was by every measurable job performance rating was failing. They let him go, and somebody brought a complaint against the city council now that they might be talking. I don't know how you not talk unless you're on the city council floor. Like, I think that's pretty much impossible, but they brought an ethics complaint against them. So none of the city councilors could show up. So city staff showed up to take all of these arrows from people who are like, we want more money put into, you know, police, fire. We don't want it put into
public safety.
We want it into public safety. We don't want it put into all this other stuff. And there were people who were passionate about it. And so we're like, hey, this is great information for them to take back to the city council. And this is great information for them to have. And then also, you guys need to come down to city council and keep this passion up, because there's a whole bunch of knuckleheads who are like, but no, we just need more libraries. And I've made the joke that there is a bunch of people that are out there in our world who believe that if a wormhole opened up in space and started consuming planets, that all you'd have to do is launch the bookmobile into the wormhole and it would save us all. There are people who legitimately...
There might be a book on that.
Yeah. There are people who believe that out there. And it's like, okay, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but if you're Celia Ritter and you're trying to open up your restaurant in the morning and somebody has defecated all over your front entryway and you send somebody out there to clean it, and the person who just got done defecating now is upset because their artwork is being removed and he's screaming, I'm going to kill you at your staff person. That's not a great way to start your morning.
No,
like, I'm making minimum wage and tips. Like, I don't get paid enough for that.
I need to go home now.
It just affects the whole livability aspect. And I know I love downtown, and I'll be there tonight for the Garden Sip and Stroll and walking downtown.
Right.
But you definitely walk with eyes on the back of your head, very aware of your surroundings.
Right.
I don't think it's as relaxing as it could be.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully, I mean, our last dipstick mayor and city council in Salem.
Don't pull punches, TJ. Tell us how you really feel. I mean,
there's honesty. Good conversations happen at the kitchen table.
And dipstick, that's a term of endearment. I mean, the fact that he's an idiot, a functional idiot, and still managed to perform and show up. I mean, I guess I'm grateful for. I don't know, but I mean, if you just look, there was an effort to defund the police in Salem. Like, they were moving money out of that budget and into other budgets. That's, if you take money out of, and they're like, we're not defunding the police. We're just moving money out of their budget into other budgets in Salem. Like, that's not, I mean, just because that's literally the definition of defunding, we're not defunding. And people were like, okay.
Sounds
sure.
good.
Yeah.
I thought was amazing that was brought up. I didn't realize we had 8 bicycle cops downtown that we no longer have.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it made a difference because they, the bike cops, they did a great job of just talking to people.
Yeah, they built relationships, right?
Yeah. Getting to know them.
Yeah, it's not just cuff and haul away,
And it's funny because I've built relationships. So when my business was on State Street, I knew the names of all my neighbors. Some of them were housed, some of them were not. But I was like, listen, if you're going to be on my property, you treat it with respect. I will treat you with respect if you treat me with respect. And, the funny thing is, people who are homeless, if you know their name, that means a lot to them because most of the time they're just a piece of garbage is how they are.
Or overlooked, or they feel not seen or heard.
And if you just I just know your name. Hey, Paul, good morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, and all of a sudden Paul now is my eyes and ears when I'm not there.
Yeah. When Andrew from Peter Courtney Place, he, because they've taken a lot of veterans that were homeless, he tells me that you should see them if there's anybody unsheltered without housing around that property. Like, they go ham. And Andrew will say, dude, you were just there 90 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, we have short memories on that stuff, right?
So it's an interesting perspective. When you were on city council, was there a deficit?
No. Well, it was always looming in the distance, but it's the same way, we dealt with it the same way. First of all, Linda Norris, I'm going to out Linda. Linda's a Democrat. Okay. I'm a Republican. We worked so well together.
I love that.
Because
it should be.
Yeah.
She is, and we had, Democrats on the council, and Laura Tessler and I are best friends to this day. Laura is crazier than a crap house rat, but she is really conscientious and and she will tell you we made great decisions because we made them in concert with each other, listening and saying, hey, what do you see here? And I know there were times when I'm like, I don't understand your perspective, but I'm going to incorporate it because it'll be a better decision. And Linda Norris came to us at one point and said, we're going to have this budget deficit coming in the future. We're going to need to start taking some steps. We have a whole Parks and Rec department where we have people who are competing with the Boys and Girls Club and the YMCA. Why are we doing that as a city? Let's move $30,000 into scholarships for the YMCA and the Boys and Girls Club, and let's eliminate our Parks and Rec program.
Genius. Why recreate the wheel?
We laid off 108 people in one meeting. Many of them were my friends.
But you were there to make those decisions.
Yeah, it's for the long term, and it's hey, is this going to make Salem better for the future? It's going to help us down the road. Yeah,
and the kiddos will still be taken care of.
Well, yes. I think as business owners, you can't write checks with money you don't have, and I think that's the same mindset we need to have. For you folks that are been city councilors and that type of stuff, is that those dollars have to matter, and they've got to come from somewhere, and we can't just make it up all the time. So,
in my business, we have this: if we're going to spend $1, is it going to make us another $1, or is it going to save us another $1? Right? That's got to be your mindset. And I will tell you that with the city of Salem, at every department level, most every department level, they are thinking about, how do I operate more efficiently? How do I run? Whether it's police, whether it's public works, they are thinking, how do I be more efficient? And I love that mindset.
Yeah.
Yep. And the fiduciary responsibility that comes with it. I mean, that's the job, to make those hard decisions. Yeah. And the reason I started this podcast is I want people to be able to hear the backstory on things and not just believe those keyboard trolls, and ask questions. Ask questions. Don't take one person's blog as the Bible.
Yeah. And that person who brought the complaint against the city is a blogger who doesn't even live inside the city of Salem. And I can point to so many decisions that this person has influenced that have made Salem worse. It's made things harder and worse for the residents inside the city of Salem. But he'll blog about it and tell you that.
Yeah, just ask questions and ask your city councilor. Don't assume that you know something about that city councilor. Yeah. Write your councilors, write the mayor, write your representatives. Yeah. Or be a Monday morning quarterback that isn't helpful. Be part of the solution.
Or get on and blog about it and just destroy them.
So there you go.
Because that's more fun.
It's no satisfying, maybe.
Yeah.
We got to lift people up. We need to be able to have healthy conflict and crucial conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there were times with Laura and I where we were so mad at each other, and but then we would have conversations about what was ticking us off, and I was like, oh, okay, I had no idea. I'm sorry. And how can I incorporate your decisions into our overall decision making?
And I think that we hear so much about budgets, and it got me thinking about the whole Northeast Salem and Salem Keizer school board budget, and we hear that over and over again. And you have a budget because you're helping the kiddos. I know that your kids one of your kiddos went to private school, right?
They both do. They
both do.
Yeah.
And from what you see working with the kiddos over there and now opening another building, what do you think that kids are lacking in the public schools in Salem Keizer? If you feel comfortable, or you can say what's going well.
Well, I think they need two things, the same things that TJ and I need, that you need, and it is purpose and accountability. And you can't find success in business or relationship or whatever that is without purpose and accountability. And I don't think that our culture, wide culture, is pointing or providing purpose and accountability, and I don't think that's happening in our schools either. And so that is what's, I believe, the key holding most of the students back. We have passionate teachers and educators that really care and stuff, but I think that our money needs to focus on the core things, and really things that provide purpose and accountability. And I know that right now in our country, we're one of the worst in the country for attendance, and that's plummeting, and so you have to give kids the right reasons to want to go to school. For me, it was sports, right? I mean, I love sports. I played a lot of them, and, I wasn't a great student, I'm not an intellectually driven guy, but I'm like, what do I need to do to stay eligible? Well, Tim, you need a 2.25. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that.
If you put your name on your paper, you'll get a 2.25.
See? Now you know.
Tim.
Hey, my GPA wasn't much higher than that. So there you go. I mean, but essentially, right? And then they need safe spaces and positive people to be in their life. And so I think that's what is making our organization grow at such a fast pace, because we shot this arrow out. I think everybody's kind of catching up with our vision for what's necessary. And so, if we were a hot dog company and you double in size every year, you're fat, rich, and money. But we double our commitment every year. Right? So go to 20. Hot dogs. Yeah. But you're making money off the hot dogs, right? Compared to all of our services are free. I don't know that we might be the only organization I know of that all of our buildings are free to enter, and all of our programs are no cost. It doesn't matter how rich, poor, black, white, Asian, gay, straight, Republican, Democrat, young person. It doesesn't matter. You can be in our facilities and participate in our programs.
And what age group?
Yeah, we focus on middle school and up. So sixth grade and up.
You have a website?
Yep, valormentoring.com. Our facilities are called the Rec. So like the Rec Lanes, the Rec Grange. The next one will be the Rec Commons. And then we plan on putting one in Dallas, Dayton, and Woodburn in the next 24 months. So I don't have the money for that. So if somebody's got a big fat check, I promise I'll spend it well. So
congrats. You know where to find him. Email him.
Exactly.
So what do you think is good, that we're lacking? I mean, purpose and accountability, I think, is a great answer. But TJ always has great insight to this.
Yeah. Well, TJ won't have to pull as many punches maybe as I will. So.
No, I will pull. There will be zero punches pulled. I think you're approaching your operation like a good drug dealer. You're going to get them hooked for free and then start charging them. Right? I think there's, I think it is, like if you feel like you're achieving something, but if you go to school and you're not achieving anything, and, I have friends of mine, when I ran for the legislature, I had a whole bunch of Democrat moms show up at my door and say, hey, we want to help you. We want to help you get elected. What can we do? And they became part of my team. And when they left, I was like, I don't understand. And my wife was like, why would a bunch of Democrat moms come and offer to help me? And she said, that's their maternal instincts taking over. They know that what's happening in our schools is not what's good for their kids. And so they're frustrated and they're saying, hey, we want to help any way we can. I mean, I talk to my kids all the time about dumb decision making, right? If you can avoid dumb decision making, your life will be way easier. Yeah. And I see it in our schools with like, hey, we need to lower our F rates. That's not how the world works. You don't get to just make dumb decisions and then get to retake the test over and over and over again until you get a better grade. And most of my friends who are teachers, you know why they got into teaching? Because they wanted to teach.
Right.
And so when you're told, hey, you need to lower your F rates, well, that just pisses them off. It lowers their desire to be there.
Their purpose.
Yes.
And then the kids who are showing up, they're like, oh, wait, so I really don't have to try. There's no accountability.
And now we're back to the accountability piece, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can just, okay, great. I won't try and I get to retake the test. And they get in their first job and it's like, why try? I get to retake it, right? No, you get to retake it at another place, at another establishment.
Exactly. Try showing up to the 3 first days on the job at either of our facilities. You don't have a job at the end of the week. Like, I mean, I tell people, and we're maybe a much smaller organization. We're at 32 employees, but I take that as 32 families seriously. And your actions affect all of our ability to pay mortgages and rent and that type of stuff. So, yeah. I'm a high standards guy, but I'm also a high grace guy, right? So there's plenty of opportunity for people to learn, to fail, but you need to be growing, right?
Absolutely.
In order to be a part of our organization.
And part of the job is doing the job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Job description. Do the job.
Yes.
So what do you think about, you talked about a couple of the myths about the paid parking going downtown. What do you think about that from a business owner or from what you've heard, or even you, Tim, about going downtown and, having coffee at Isaac's?
Yeah, it's always interesting to me. Like, I'm going to pay $1.75 to buy a $3.50 coffee. And so, and that's really easy because I don't have a business downtown, but this is just my words. And hey, I'm on the microphone, so I get to say what I want.
That's right. We're here
and so
to keep it real
and
at the kitchen table.
And I'm a fan of what Isaac's and all them do. And so, of course, I want to patronize their places. I mean, we have our own coffee shop, but like that's important. So I wonder how long-term that affects. I also know that there's some downtown merchants that are for it because people were parking in front of their facilities, so their customers couldn't get to their spaces. Right. So I can understand both sides. I don't know how you feel, TJ, but yeah.
How do you, and TJ, I guess this question is probably for you because I heard it the other day, that the business owners are still paying for those parking spaces, but the city is still collecting the money.
Right.
Why is one faucet not being shut off?
I mean, because if you give a source of revenue once, they're never going to give it back.
I particularly like that.
Yeah,
I see that they sunset it, and then they're like, "Oh, we're taking away that sunset."
Yeah, so I don't think they've ever. So it's one of those things where I think sometimes people hear what they want to hear, and when the whole discussion was like, "Is the parking tax going to go away?" Yes, but then we followed up by saying when, right? So the city was like, "Look, parking tax is going to go away eventually."
Right? That's what I heard. So that's why I'm asking.
So I think my personal opinion is, and we've gotten plenty of emails, and please do not send them to me saying, I'm never going downtown if you implement that. Good. Go to the Lancaster Mall and walk around and put pennies in the fountain. Do that with your life.
Do they have a fountain?
They got free parking. And I think a urinal would count as a fountain.
There's free parking at all of our facilities.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Just
love
put that plug in.
Valor mentoring, free parking.
Free parking. If free,
but only middle school and high school.
Who can't drive?
Right.
If free parking turns your crank, Valor mentoring. So I think that they are going to make all the money because. So just in the next 12 months, there is $100 million of private investment coming into downtown Salem. That's a huge number. 100 million is, if I'm right, that's 1/10 of $1 billion.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a lot of money. Then there'd be a lot more residents coming in. There is, I've got it on reasonably good authority that there is a grocery market going to be coming into downtown.
Mm-hmm.
So people will be stopping and parking and heading downtown because there's lots of cool things to see. I think the key is how do we take that money and we reinvested into providing services into downtown, so that when Celia Ritter shows up in the morning to open up the Wild Pear and Ritter's, that her front portico is clean and there's flower baskets hanging and there's,
and there are teenage employees that are open and are safe.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And that everybody, wherever you go in downtown, it's clean and safe. So Main Street's going to be providing a proposal to the city to say, hey, here is how we achieve the clean and safe. And here are the services that we're going to provide in exchange for those parking tax dollars that you're continuing to collect. So I think if there's if the business owners could be like, oh, okay, I see that something is being done that makes my space better and I'm not having to do it. The city is doing it for me through Main Street. That's just something that I can appreciate, and I'll feel a little bit better about making that my patrons are going to feel safe. Yeah, the perception of downtown Salem is that it's clean and safe. And when that happens, more people will come downtown and shop.
Yeah, I agree. And if somehow we can get there with the bicycle cops, I think that would be huge.
100%. Well, and just having more eyes downtown, if I got a team out there pressure washing at 3 a.m., it's hard to sleep in somebody's doorway if you're pressure washing that area. So if we're out there pressure washing and picking up trash at 3 a.m, then we've got eyes on things. We can say, hey, buddy, you okay? Are you, What do
you think with all the apartments coming in and not requiring parking spots? How do you think that affects? I feel like in the last 12 months, it's been a lot harder to find parking spots downtown.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be, that's the invisible hand of the market at work. Either people are going to figure it out, like, where can I park? Or,
that's the beautiful thing about America, right? Is that
we figure
entrepreneurially, we will solve the problem. The pain gets significant enough. Creative people will help to make it happen for sure. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to throw one out there. This is going to be a good one.
Okay.
Transportation bill. But by the time this airs, it will be where it is. Thoughts?
As a disclaimer, I did not know that this show was going to be completely
Thought we were talking about butterflies. Or is there some things that you understand, like these are really good, we do need to invest back into our roads, but hey, maybe we're too far reaching with this?
So,
or you love it?
I don't love it, but I'm like, so I believe, and I've said this before, my Republican brethren sometimes get uncomfortable, but I like making people uncomfortable.
No.
I think that paying taxes is patriotic.
I agree.
I think it's one of the most patriotic things we do. If we say,
we're investing.
Here, government, I believe in you. I love you. I'm going to give you my money.
I love that attitude.
So I think that paying taxes is patriotic. But damn it, I want a return on my investment.
There you go.
Sorry, Mom, for saying damn it.
Yeah. I'm going to text her. So
yeah. Don't do that.
I agree. I mean, maybe all of us, but pay a lot of taxes, and I personally know that the private sector is more efficient, right, at most things. So my overall arching thing is that government and cities should be providing X amount of services. And I think they feel pressure to provide X amount of services. And I guess that's where I differ a little bit.
That are outside of the bubble of what we're supposed to do.
Start with core, similar to public safety and moving forward, right? I mean, providing safe processes to be downtown is critical for the growth that we hope is coming with the capital investments that are being made down there, right? And then I hope that transfers towards East Salem, that we can do some things out there using the tools and conversations that happened over the last 10, 15 years in downtown. I think that the principles work, right? Not just in one area of town. So, yeah, but it seems like a lot of money. It seems like a lot of additional taxes. And I only allow myself 15 minutes a day to talk about politics. And this is a 45-minute show. So, I won't be able to talk for 3 more days after this. But But I'm just saying I haven't deep dived, but the surface level stuff, it seems like a lot. But I don't know.
Well, and it's okay. So you're going to pass this transportation bill. If it means that there are bridges over on the coast that aren't going to collapse, That's great.
Hallelujah.
But then do we have Oregon contractors doing the work, or do we have to be all union labor that goes in and does it? Because that's not an efficient use of the money. If you say, listen, we're going to spend this, but we're going to spend it on ways that we can move people, goods, and services more efficiently around our state, okay, that helps us as business owners if people are moving more efficiently. If you're like, sunshine, we're going to do bike lanes everywhere, right? Okay, well now you're making dumb decisions. And
as a bike rider, that's one of our hobbies in my household. But like, I don't need a bike lane.
Priority list.
Yeah.
Like we need, in this industrial park, we need bike lanes everywhere.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I think just surface, I think they throw out the tire tax. I think that, in my opinion, the gas tax is a lot. And I think with the way that especially lower income families are struggling right now, that's a lot. Yeah.
And like some of our facilities are entertainment. So like our bowling alley, the rec lanes, right? That is softened some over the last year or two with the economy and that type of stuff. And going bowling is one of the more cost-effective entertainment dollars, compared to some of the other things. But we've seen that impact. And so, of course, with our organization, we've expanded a lot of our free opportunities for, other folks. But there is a limit to that, right? I mean, we still have a mortgage payment. We still have a tax payment. And so for us as a nonprofit, we're structured differently. We pay property taxes on all our facilities. And so I am for paying taxes, you know what I mean? And so, yeah.
And I love the way that you put that.
Yeah. But we do want it to be as efficient as we can. Yeah.
Do you have bike lanes on your bowling lanes?
No, we don't.
Good answer. What's okay, I'm going to flip from the politics.
Okay.
What's a childhood meal that you still eat today?
Yeah. I mean, cereal.
What kind?
Yeah. I'm what is it? The Cheerios, Honey Nut Cheerios. Yeah.
I liked those commercials with the bee and the honey. Ding!
Yeah.
Those solid commercials.
But I only have that probably once, 2 or 3 times a month. Mornings is a protein shake and either a waffle with nothing on it or a strip of bacon. The reason for that, not that anybody cares, is that a protein shake won't get me all the way to noon. I'm a fairly busy guy, and that shake usually happens at 6 o'clock, you know, and so that extra bacon or something gets me the rest of the way. Yeah. So how about you, childhood meal?
So this is where I talk with my therapist a lot because I was not allowed to eat sugar cereal.
Neither was I, and so jealous that these people got Lucky Charms and Fruity Pebbles
and put sugar on their frosted
Captain
flakes.
Crunch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So when you spent the night at somebody else's house.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, they were pulling me off the ceiling because I never had, I mean, I grew up. My mom was like, "Here's 2 eggs and some bacon in the morning, and that's how you get your day started." And then I go to somebody else's house. They're like, "This is Captain Crunch." Whee! I'm doing laps around the house.
Sometimes that might qualify as one of his dum-dum decisions, right? I mean, but yeah.
Maybe.
So legitimately, like I ate carob growing up, like all the time.
That's
carob,
rough.
and my mom got us Hanson's Naturals, like ginger ale. That was a treat for me.
No Kool-Aid?
No Kool-Aid. So 6th grade trip, we go to Oregon State University. And I remember Mrs. Gamon was like, "Hey guys, lights out at 10." And then somebody gave me a Dr. Pepper. And I remember just like in my room just like going, "Why am I still awake?"
Well, for people who don't understand.
What a core memory.
For people who don't understand what carob is, imagine like you're just chewing on unsweetened chocolate. That's about like what it is.
That's exactly what carob is.
Oh man, yeah.
God.
And then my mom got to be friends with this Greek woman who she gave us these things called yinnies, which is a Greek candy that's caramel with no sugar in it.
Caramel, that's as bad as unsweetened chocolate.
It really was. I mean, sometimes
Yes.
Sometimes I look at my dog when he's eating, and he'll look at me and he'll be like, this stuff sucks, right? I'm like, buddy, I've been there.
I've been there. I did my carib years.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And then I ate a Reese's peanut butter cup, and that, like, my brain melted.
Which, of course, is
How old were you?
12.
I mean, hands down, that's still the best
is
dessert
peanut butter
candy
cup
there
is
is.
Yeah.
solid.
If you
And a Kit Kat.
if you don't like Reese's peanut butter cups, there's the door.
Yeah.
Un-American.
Yeah, out of our country.
We don't want you here unless you have a peanut allergy. Anybody watching or listening,
Yeah.
we're having fun today.
Which I feel like if you do have a peanut allergy, I mean,
You should probably better change subjects.
Yeah, going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
What is a new restaurant or shop or new product that you tried that people should know about? Where you're like, wow, how everyone should have this. Or everyone should go eat there.
I mean, Keizer wise, two of our facilities are there. I mean, underappreciated Ocean Sushi is a place there in Keizer. Really good sushi, great family ran thing.
I've had them. They are good.
Yeah.
Ocean Sushi in Keizer.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, I ate a lot of places, but yeah.
Yeah, so Carrie Wong used to be a chef in downtown Salem. She had it's called Grand Vines, and remarkable woman, remarkable chef. And she retired the first time, and then she opened up a supper club that's out on, it's in an alley, which there's a lot of cool things in alleys around Salem.
Sure.
And so she's off of Broadway, and I'm telling you guys about this, but not everybody go there all at once, okay? It's kind of my secret fishing
TJ
hall.
still wants a seat.
Yeah, Laura Dorn. I think she's part of the supper club, right?
Yeah,
And you can order food or
You can order food and take home once a week, and then you can go to the club and have dinner. And it's her level of attention to detail is phenomenal, and she's a big believer in serving a sorbet in the middle of your dinner to help clear your palate. And I'm like, if you get ice cream, I'm used to eating carob.
I'll see you guys later.
Right? Carrie Wong is amazing. I need to reach out to her and text her.
She is really amazing.
And what's the name of the supper club, or did I miss it?
It's just called The Club.
Okay.
The club.
Yeah.
She used to, when she was making her cakes, the convention center.
Yeah, they utilize her for all of their desserts because
pumpkin cheesecake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I also like great spots that I like to go to regularly. They got great food. I can count on it. I mean,
it's consistent.
Ritter's is a great spot. I love Mike and his team, there.
They are great.
Yeah.
And Wild Pear. And I feel Wild Pear and Ritter's are just staples of downtown.
Adobe, Venti's.
Taproot.
Yeah.
And they all have their unique personality. There are so many
Bill's Pew Spot downtown.
Good things. And I heard they're opening for lunch.
Cozy to Brenna, yeah.
Yeah, Cozy. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's in brunch. I didn't even realize they had brunch on the weekends. Cozy does.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of great things going on in downtown Salem.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to lay a heavy one on you.
Okay.
It could be as heavy as TJ goes, because it'll probably end up making me laugh. What keeps you up at night consistently? That you find yourself rolling around like, how am I going to solve that problem? Or just, it doesn't even have to be a problem.
Man, part of me would say nothing.
Oh, that's great.
And my wife would definitely agree, because 5 minutes, once I lay down, I am out in 5 minutes. Now, whether I stay asleep for the whole night. So I'm an early morning guy. So I have to if I'm tired, I have to force myself to stay up till 9 or 10, because at like 3, my body's like, hey, we've had 6 hours. Like,
Hello.
Yeah. And that's when I can start spinning on some of the pressures of, what the growth is happening in our organization, but then resources and all that stuff.
But definitely the growth, right?
Yeah.
You've had a lot of growth. I think your last event in Keizer, you needed a shuttle van and you had it by the end.
Yeah. 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 God's been really good to us, and again, we're going to double in size this next year too. So yeah, managing that stuff, I'm just some simple-minded guy with a big idea, So yeah. How about you, TJ?
For me, I cannot go to sleep at night until I know where my kids are at.
And how old are your kids?
And that's true.
They are 18 and 20.
Okay. Yeah.
And my daughter's getting ready to head down to California to go to school. And so I'm trying to figure out how
Does that just give you anxiety because she's been around you? Like, you know that you can get to her?
What are second homes looking like down there?
Well, and it.
No, I mean, but it's exciting.
It's exciting, and I trust her implicitly.
Right.
Yeah.
So both my kids are fantastic. My son is nice and kind, and my daughter is mess around and find out. That's her kind of her attitude.
That's interesting. That's very similar to our kids. Our son, the oldest, he's a firstborn, straight A, magna cum laude, guy. You don't need to lean on him at all. He's plenty hard enough on himself,
Mm-hmm.
And Alyssa, our daughter, she's
much a firecracker.
more. Yeah, she can make it happen. She can hold her own. Yeah.
You're like, do I need to advocate for you? No.
Yeah.
I got this. Step back.
Yeah.
Do you need me to advocate for you?
But the thing that TJ, your kids will watch this. What you need to know about what he's saying is that's just being a parent.
Oh, 100%.
We're going to have
nothing
concern.
to do.
It has nothing to do with the lack of character or trust. It's just, and when they become a parent, they will know that, remember when they first got their license? Every phone call.
Terrifying.
For the first year, every phone call. And if it was them, you're like, yeah. But
it was. But what's funny about that is when my son first got his license, he's like, okay, from now on, you can start calling me NASCAR. And I was like, all right, NASCAR. So we get in the car, Chase and I get in the car with him, and we're going down the road, and he's like, look at this person passing me. Look at that Johnny Rocket. And I'm like, hey buddy, you're going 15 miles an hour down Commercial. And he's
Speed racer.
Yeah. He's like, well, you call me NASCAR. I'm like, all right, NASCAR.
Yeah. Like our son, who's never even been stung by a bee, broken a bone, got even a parking ticket probably, right? And then our daughter, as we got your permit, we're in the DMV parking lot with her new license. We're backing out, and her first question is, so how does cruise control work? And then we're not, it's at the Lancaster Mall area, right? We're not even leaving yet. And she's like, how do you steer with your knees? And I'm like, I love you, Alyssa. I know you're going to see this, but she's amazing. But that's, she's always wanting to push herself, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm like,
you steer with your knees. That's
I'm like, that's not something we're learning today. You've had your license 4.5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, and it's for me, it's like you get into routines. Like when my kids go to bed at night, I see the Aaronic blessing over them.
That's amazing.
Yeah. If they're not there, I'll say it over the dog.
There you go.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, speaking of kids and kind of moving from that adult, when you're starting your adult journey, what's something that you would tell your 18-year-old self now that you're a little bit older and wiser?
Yeah, that's a great question. Man. Well, I would say that alcohol's not as fun as you think it is.
Solid.
I had a Corvette at 19, and I had about 2 years until I couldn't afford the insurance because I had so many tickets, So
don't speed.
Well, let's be realistic, but I just think that I valued some of those things higher than I should have, for sure. For me, my 19 to 25 years was spent pretty selfishly, making money, buying Corvettes and drinking and thinking I'm having a good time and being a man. But I found out that actually none of that stuff is real manhood, Mm-hmm. So that's, I guess, would be like, define what real manhood is to you or womanhood. Right. Mm-hmm. And so fortunately, I don't know much about TJ's earlier life, but my kids are so much farther ahead of me at each of those stages than I was, So, yeah.
It's amazing. Good job.
Yeah, I was joking around with my parents because at one point my mom was like, your kids are so wonderful. Tell me, what did you do to make them?
Gave them sugar.
And I was like,
they didn't care, Mom.
And I was like, Mom, what I did is in every situation, I just thought about, like, what would you and Dad have done? And I do the opposite. And that, so, for my kids, I'm like, hey, if you guys want to learn from all the mistakes I've made, I'm pretty open and honest with them. Like, these are all the dumb decisions I made. And, so, my kids, they know all the little sayings for every scenario. And, passive income is the best kind of income, and alcohol is not your friend, and things that I've had to learn the hard way. And so it's like Tim and I could get together and share, like, there's a lot of dumb decisions. I mean, I probably had a smart ass remark for everything when I was 18, and then I learned, like, okay, let's just keep those inside your head, and then
and then when did you just unleash the Kraken?
And tell Soraida later.
Until you end up on a podcast.
And just start throwing out a few names.
Yeah. But you've got a lot of credit for doing lots of cool things, Soraida, or myself. But I don't think I've ever done anything more rewarding than being a parent.
Oh, 100%.
And I'm talking about a lot of accolades for some of you guys, right? And so, but man, it is so worth it. It is so worth it. I am grateful to have the children I have, and that they're committed to the community. That, I had a little mantras just like yours maybe, but like, look, if you're going to get involved with something, leave it better than you find it. And then don't complain about it unless you're willing to be a part of that. And to see that that's one of the principles they live out. Now, I would say that's a biblical principle, but we don't need to quote Bible verses, right? It's a principle that works no matter where you are in your faith, So
absolutely, if you're not if you're whining, if you're not coming with solutions,
playing the victim card will not move you forward. It's psychologically, financially, And I'm sitting here as experienced 3 divorces as a kid, moved 21 times from 3rd grade to 10th grade, including Brazil and Colorado, and
they're almost the same.
Right. Yeah. Alaska, like a lot of instability, several stepdads, so I can play lots of broken home cards. Right.
You put all of those, traumas and uncomfortable experiences that you had, and you're investing your knowledge of what that feels like into the community.
Right. Yeah.
So well done.
Yeah. I mean, I tell people, listen, there's only 2 ways you get wisdom, and you purchase tuition on it. And one is you pay it up front to learn it from somebody else, or you pay the back end tuition, which is far more expensive, and you do it through smacking your head against the wall and doing those things. And I've done plenty of both. I just choose the last decade or 2 to try to learn it from others, Yeah.
Well, I think it's a great thing when you can take your trauma and say, I'm going to redirect it to helping other people who may be experiencing some brokenness, and I'm going to help them be better. Like, I'm a big believer in trying to change the trajectory of people's lives. I think that's one of the most beautiful things that we can do, is to change the trajectory of somebody else's life.
That's a great point.
There are a lot of people who think, well, that's what government's job. No. That's your job. That's my job. If we're going to make Salem and Keizer the healthiest communities in Oregon, and it starts with what he's doing, with taking kids and changing their life, because once they're homeless and on the street, it's way harder to change the trajectory of their life. Yeah.
Each kid, one caring adult away from being a success story.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
And you two do that. What do you do when you attack a problem and or there's just a knucklehead at the other door? How do you walk away? Do you give it 24 hours? I mean, I think that's a talent we learn the older we get, that we just don't trigger off. How do you settle yourself internally? Is there something you tell yourself in your head when you've got me to that point?
Yeah. This is not the time, right? This is not the moment to, to share what's in your head. But I'm also maybe like TJ, I'm going to make it happen. Like, if you don't want to help, that's fine. But I'm a pretty loyal person. I'm a doer. And so sometimes in our organization, we see a problem in the morning and we'll solve it by nighttime. I'm not interested in getting 7 committees together or whatever, during the pandemic when people's housing wasn't getting paid by the people that we told to get paid. Like, there's 18 families that tried endlessly to get resources for rent. I got all 18 of those families housing without any help from the government. That's not a shout out to me or any of my friends. I'm just saying, like, you see the problem.
Shout out to Tim.
But if you see the problem, and look, I'm not some super wealthy dude, but I have ability and I have relationship that can solve it. And so I'm not one that can just walk away from something I think I can do something about. So, yeah.
How about you?
Government to solve it. I think, when you do something like when we started Crispus in downtown, it was, I mean, it's a big task. Like, how do we get lights up? How do we find the plugins? And you know what? People were like, hey, that sounds like a good idea. That would be something that'd be great for our downtown. How do I be involved? And I think if you're on the right side of an issue, you don't need to come at it with fisticuffs. You can just come at it. If you're on the right side of the issue, people will join you because it's the right thing to do.
And that's a great example of just watching that holiday parade grow. And last year walking it with Mayor Hoy and pushing our hotel bell carts and all the kids. I felt like I was in a Hallmark movie. Yeah. And there's nothing more beautiful than that, to watch that whole transformation.
3,000 people caroling. And I'm just like, well, that's because there were people that came alongside and said, yeah, I think Christmas lights would be amazing.
And they really are amazing. So anybody watching and listening, just get involved with what your passion is.
Yeah.
And if you're on the right side, people will join you. And if you're making dumb decisions, nobody will scream you.
You'll be so low.
Yeah. I mean, that's what creates anything in our world or in our nation, is just people with passion and vision, right?
And community. And and people that care about the community, and we're good human beings. And you two are a great example of good salt of the earth men.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
We've made a lot of mistakes.
Yep. And we don't learn from our wins. Like I learned from my lumps.
I was listening to a Christian podcast. God doesn't want a highlight reel. Like, that's not who he picked.
Right.
To lead. He didn't pick the most perfect.
No, I was in St. Peter's Basilica in Italy. And the thing that struck me the whole time, I had to lay down on the floor to look at the ceiling.
Right.
The ceiling is that amazing. And all I could think of was all of this for an illiterate fisherman.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I felt the same way when I went to Italy, like just in awe. But in the last month, I heard God doesn't want a highlight reel. He wants people that have been in trials and tribulations, that have the calluses on their hands.
Yeah.
And that have those lived experiences. And that is beautiful. But illiterate fisherman, I didn't think that when I was there, but
that's good.
But it really is amazing to be in there. I mean, you feel in any of those. Vatican, you're just like, wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Just wow.
All of this for an illiterate fisherman.
These are the things we can accomplish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you put your mind to it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Never wrote a book, never wrote a song. Right. Yeah. I mean, yet more music's been written. Yeah. Throughout history about our guy Jesus, and more books have been written. There's colleges and universities. He never had a school, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I've told my kids, listen, if somebody predicts their death and resurrection and then does it, you just follow them.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody else could pull that off, then maybe we'll go a different direction. But
until
that happens, we're locked in.
I think that is a perfect way to end this podcast.
There we go. Yeah.
And I do believe it. I think that God has all three of us and puts us on the road, and that's how you make God laugh, is make a plan. So I will just just keep on going and praying. And thanks again for all that you do. Thanks for just all your work in the community. And thanks for keeping people laughing, TJ.
Thanks for my Band-Aids.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. Yeah, you gotta laugh. If you don't laugh, you're not, it'll be a long road. Digging that hole is harder if you're not laughing about it.
Yeah. You don't have somebody shoveling with you.
Right. If you don't got a white paper.
To be on. So many lessons learned on this one. Lessons with TJ and Tim. TNT. Some dynamite there.
The only time I've ever heard anybody say that about me too. So thank you.
Lessons learned.
Lessons learned. Usually it's the hard way. Things not to do by TJ Sullivan.
Right. Dumb decisions.
Dumb decision making.
And
there's a book there.
Follow the guy. Follow the man. Or at least learn about it. Ask questions. It's worth it. All right. Well, God bless you both, and over and out. Thanks for watching and tuning in.
Until next time.
Bye. Big shout out and a big thank you to Valor Mentoring that recorded the video and audio for this podcast, Changing Lives That Change Lives. And thank you to Remodeling by Classic Homes for sponsoring this podcast. Thank you so much for joining us at the kitchen table with Soraida and friends. Please follow us on social media. You can find this podcast on Apple, Spotify, and wherever you listen to your podcast.